Good morning. Thank you all for being here as we commemorate World Stroke Day here in Orlando. My name is Deanna Cooper Smith Marquez, and 6 years ago, I lost my husband Scott to a stroke. When I found Scott, he had collapsed in our bathroom and his speech was slurred. Because he was only 32 years old, it never occurred to me that he may have had a stroke. In fact, it took several minutes for first responders to figure out what had happened to him. Critical minutes for the survival of a stroke patient. Since that day, I've learned that stroke could strike anyone, regardless of their age, from infants to the elderly, which is why Scott's brother, sister-in-law, and I have founded the Scott Cooper Smith Stroke Awareness Foundation. We would like to spread the message of stroke awareness in Scott's honor. Scott was taken directly to Florida Hospital Orlando, and he was given the best possible treatment. Unfortunately, Scott did not make it. I'm here today because I want other families to learn the signs and symptoms of stroke so that they may potentially help prevent as much as possible the devastating effects that stroke can have on their loved ones. Thank you all again for being here for this very important event. And now I'd like to introduce you to Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Thank you, Deanna, and thank you for being willing to share your story and help put a face on how important learning the symptoms of strokes are. Here in Orlando, our number one priority is to ensure that Orlando is the safest city in America. And that means keeping crime low, of course, investing in the best tools, technology, and training for our police officers and firefighters, but it also means investing in education to equip our residents with skills and knowledge to help their loved ones and co-workers in a medical emergency. So in 2013, we launched Take Heart Orlando, and we want to train every resident in the city of Orlando in hands-only CPR. And to date, we have trained over 30,000. And you are more likely to survive a heart attack in the city of Orlando than in most other cities because of the training and response time of our firefighters, but also knowing how to administer hands-only CPR. For every minute that you are not receiving CPR after you have a cardiac event, it reduces your chance of survival by 10%. So if every person here knows CPR, we're going to be in a lot better shape. I'm also proud to join Deanna and Florida Hospital to launch this new initiative called Think Fast. And to mark this occasion, I'd like to read our official proclamation. Whereas on average, 1 American dies of a stroke every 4 minutes, and whereas people of any age, as Deanna has shown, can have a stroke, and whereas high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking are major risk factors for stroke, and whereas we reaffirm our commitment to support stroke awareness, and whereas F stands for facial drooping, where a section of the face is drooping and hard to move, and whereas A stands for arm weakness, the inability to raise one's arm fully, and whereas S stands for speech difficulties, where it is difficult to understand or produce speech, and where T stands for time is of the essence if any of the above symptoms are showing, and whereas Florida Hospital and the City of Orlando are teaming up to train 1,000 residents to recognize the symptoms. Now therefore, I, Buddy Dyer, Mayor of the City of Orlando, in recognition of the importance of stroke awareness, do hereby proclaim October 29, 2015 as Train Orlando to Think Fast Day in the City of Orlando. I would like to acknowledge that Commissioner Stewart and Commissioner Ortiz have both joined us here today, and I would like to call on Deputy Chief Wales to further highlight the importance of stroke awareness.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer. I'm very excited to be here today representing the City of Orlando Fire Department. Last year, our department transported more than 19,000 patients for emergency medical services. While time is always of the essence in medical emergencies, as Deanna mentioned, that's especially true for stroke. Orlando Fire Department encourages you and your loved ones at the first sign of stroke symptoms to immediately call 911, rather than trying to drive yourself. Early intervention by our skilled paramedics is paramount. Safe transport with OFD is also key for you to arrive at the facility, a specialized stroke care facility. The more information our first responders have when they arrive at the call, the more quickly we can provide that much needed care. Our department looks forward to spreading the Think Fast message across the city of Orlando. And before you leave today, make sure to become trained in hands-only CPR at our Take Heart Orlando table in the rear. Now I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Acosta, a neurologist at Florida Hospital. Dr.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Wales, and thank you everyone for being here. At Florida Hospital, we treat over 1,200 strokes every year. We know that out of all medical conditions, stroke is the number 5 killer of Americans in this country, and is the leading cause of serious disability in our adult population. The majority of strokes happen when a blood clot prevents blood flow to brain tissue, and this brain tissue dies. Strokes, as we heard, can happen at any age, but among the most common risk factors is high blood pressure, which is quite prevalent in our adult population and tend to be considered a controllable risk factor. Other risk factors are cigarette smoking, diabetes, high cholesterol, poor diet, and physical inactivity. At Florida Hospital, we can treat strokes successfully, but we know that every second counts when it comes to brain tissue. We would like you to recognize the symptoms of stroke, and if you recognize these symptoms in a friend, a co-worker, a loved one, or anyone, to not hesitate and call 911 immediately. With your help, we can lessen the deadly toll stroke strikes in our community in Central Florida. So thank you again for being here and for marking the kickoff of our Think Fast campaign. And now, please join us in this beautiful plaza as we get trained in stroke symptoms and we get tested for blood pressure. Thank you.